West Ham's new striker, Sébastien Haller, could turn out to be one of the signings of the season if West Ham can find the way to get the best out of him. At Eintracht Frankfurt, Haller was part of one of the best front threes in Europe, along with Luka Jovic and Ante Rebic. He scored 15 goals, or 25% of Eintracht Frankfurt's total 60. Jovic netted 17, while Rebic got 9. Between them, the trio also managed a number of assists. Rebic got 4, while Jovic got 5 and Haller 9, with 3 of those being scored by Jovic. Frankfurt's trio had an almost telepathic understanding. Adi Hütter had most success with a kind of 3-4-1-2, playing a direct style out vertically or angled towards the wide channels. They harnessed the strength and movement of Haller and Rebic, who were equally adept at holding up the ball and feeding it on, or receiving and driving forwards. Rebic tended to play centrally but generally deeper, occupying a sort of 10 position but without simply creating with his passing. Haller and Jovic played ahead, but with the Frenchman often peeling wide or dropping off, while Jovic stayed further forwards to feed off Haller and Rebic's passes, all the crosses from Frankfurt's excellent wingbacks. Rebic would make late runs into the box between his colleagues or drift wide and pop up in the wide spaces or half spaces unmarked as well, meaning that both he and Haller were as likely to create as they were to finish. The numbers reflect this shared attacking responsibility too. Crucially though, Haller did not work alone. Both supported by superb wingbacks and 2 forwards of real calibre, Frankfurt's system got the best out of the French striker and didn't overload his playing responsibilities by asking him to do too much. There is, of course, a danger that West Ham could do just this and try to get Haller to be all things to all systems. As Michael Cox pointed out in an article for The Athletic, West Ham's last few seasons have been marked by a lack of tactical consistency in their forward options. Arnautovic dropped off to create and facilitate, Hernandez sniffed out chances in the box but without contributing much to build-up, and Carroll fed off crosses and laid on chances through flicked-on passes. 3 players good on their day, but it meant that a simple shift in personnel required West Ham as a team to adjust how they created chances too. If the question is, how do we pack all of that into one forward, then the answer could well be Haller. As Cox points out, the creativity of Arnautovic, Haller racked up 9 assists last season. The speed of Hernandez, very much in evidence. The aerial prowess of Carroll, no one in Germany won more aerial duels last season. Against Manchester City, Haller was deployed as the central striker in a 4-2-3-1, with Lanzini playing off him, Antonio to the left to start, and Felipe Anderson to the right. Antonio's use on the left meant that West Ham had an aerial outball to that side, as well as long to Haller. This saw Lanzini or Haller moving into the left half space to try and collect flicks towards them. On the right, Anderson's threat is cutting inside, and here Haller's strength and ability to play in others comes to the fore. He can receive the ball and not just shield it, but actually move it forwards before playing a pass either inside to Lanzini, or an unrushing midfielder, or outside to Anderson. He can then float wide to provide a passing option, or play inside to provide an additional shooting threat if the ball is returned. The issue is that by increasing Haller's role in the build-up and utilising his strengths there, West Ham might miss out on his excellent scoring ability. Although Lanzini can play him in and get him on the end of crosses from wide, Haller's natural tendency is to involve himself. The fluidity and shared responsibilities of Frankfurt's front 3 meant that Rebic and Jovic could take on the link role or drift wide to cross. At West Ham, Haller could find himself too involved in build-up without the support of other players to get on the end of his creative work. One solution is to play Haller alongside a second striker, or just off one in reality. And with Albion Ayeti, West Ham have an ideal candidate for this. Ayeti is capable of holding up the ball and linking play too, just as Jovic could, and so Haller and him in tandem would solve a number of issues. This could see a switch to a midfield diamond or a very staggered 4-2-3-1 with Haller as a sort of advanced aggressive 10. Indeed, West Ham could even set up in a similar vein to Frankfurt, with Cresswell or Masuaku on the left and Fredericks or Zabaleta on the right, with Rice anchoring midfield alongside a more creative dynamic player and Felipe Anderson or Lanzini playing off Ayeti and Haller. It's a big call to change a team's approach based on one player, and to use a system that changes from Pellegrini's favoured 4-2-3-1 to one that he's never used. But it could just be the best way to get the most from West Ham's best player. So, people often ask us how we make our videos. Well, the easiest way to learn everything you'd need to know to make a video like Tifo is to use Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering dozens of creative and entrepreneurial skills. Premium membership gives you unlimited access, so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, your creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. And a class I've been taking recently is Animation for Illustration. Create layered GIFs using Photoshop and After Effects. And I'm doing this because I am already comfortable with Photoshop, but I wanted to learn more about After Effects. And learning a skill that'll be useful in video creation is a great way to get a handle on a new piece of software. And the good news is that there are loads of different softwares and techniques that can help Tifo grow and improve. Using classes on Skillshare is the most efficient and most fun way for me to work out which to pursue, whilst learning multiple skills in the meantime. And Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when compared to the pricey in-person classes and workshops that I used to use. An annual subscription is less than $10 per month. And because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, fans can sign up with a link in the description and get a 2-month free trial. So, if you want to learn how to make videos like Tifo, click the link in the description and get your 2-month free trial now with Skillshare. Thank you for watching.